kid's dad.
This morning.
Do you believe your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies and beliefs.
Why do you say that?
He's just a stock American Christian male. It's older, that's just how they are.
Yes, welcome back. Recently came across this very sad news. Man accused of shooting 6-year-old neighbor and her parent arrested in Florida. When you take a look at how the mainstream media is reporting this, they will not say black man arrested. According to this article, a North Carolina man accused of shooting and wounding a 6-year-old girl and her parent after children went to retrieve a basketball that had rolled into his yard was arrested in Florida Thursday afternoon, authorities said. The vow was latest in a string of recent shootings sparked by seemingly trivial circumstances.
Your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies and beliefs.
Why do you say that?
He's just a stock American Christian male. It's older, that's just how they are. It's the conspiracies and weird random racist things they say, and it doesn't make sense, but they're just scared.
Now, listen, you're generalizing a lot here about, you said older Christian white males, but what do you mean by that? What do you mean they're scared? Talk to me more, please.
Yeah, it's just I feel like a lot of people of that generation are caught up in this 24-hour news cycle of fear and paranoia perpetuated by some other news stations, and he was fully into that, sit and watch Fox News all day, every day, blaring in his living room. And I think that stuff really kind of reinforces this negative view of minority groups and leads people to be it doesn't necessarily lead people to be racist, but it reinforces and galvanizes racist people and their beliefs.
Yes, I decided to play this video so you can see exactly what is happening here. How the mainstream media operate. This was a similar situation that happened where this guy's father did this to a child, and just look at how CNN Don Lemon is asking these kind of questions.
Daddy shoot a kid's dad.
This morning, a 6-year-old girl and her parents recovering after they were shot by a neighbor, all because of an errant basketball. Authorities say 24-year-old Robert Singletary grabbed a gun and approached a group of children after the basketball from their street game rolled into his driveway. According to police, William White, the father of 6-year-old Kingsley, noticed Singletary and tried to draw gunfire toward himself to protect the children before being shot in the back. He is still in the hospital. Authorities launching a massive manhunt for Singletary, who remains on the loose.
Now, that person is facing 4 counts of assault with a weapon with the intent to kill. He's also facing a possession of firearm by a felon charge. Now, earlier this morning, we saw about a dozen law enforcement agents in the neighborhood. Gaston County Police are taking help from neighboring law enforcement agencies like the County Sheriff's Department, as well as CMPD. Detectives were going door to door to talk with neighbors. They brought out K-9 units as well to search around the property. See, this house sits on the edge of a very wooded area, and county officials told us that they were searching the woods last night. See, the shooting happened right around 8 o'clock. A man and a child went to the hospital with serious injuries. Officials tell us that a woman was grazed by the bullets and another man was shot at but was not injured. Now, we understand that the child was released from the hospital today, but the man is still under doctor's care but is in stable condition.
Yes, we have seen a real situation where this black guy decided to shoot this kid for just struggling to retrieve a basketball. But the mainstream media will not focus to ask this guy, are you a racist? They will not ask that kind of questions. They will not even report it. The people I have seen reporting this, just local medias. The mainstream media is silent. It's a similar situation. They could have focused to know what happened here. This is how the mainstream media will put it. It continued a recent spate of shooting across the US that alleged to involve property owners who fire at young people who approach them either by mistake for an innocent reason. Witnesses told the station that Singletary ran out of his home upset after the ball rolled onto his yard and started firing a gun at a neighbor. William White and his 6-year-old daughter Kingsley were reportedly to be seriously hurt during the shooting. According to reports, Kingsley had to have stitches due to bullet fragments in her cheek, and White was seriously injured after being shot in the back. Hildenbrand was gassed by a bullet and was back home on Wednesday after being discharged from a hospital. Kingsley and her parents' shooting came 6 days after Rafia, a black teenager, was shot in a separate and unrelated incident by a white man after ringing the man's doorbell. You can see the difference. Now they want to report on the similar incident that happened last week. They now say a white man shot a black kid. But on this, they've never mentioned who actually carried out the act. It was a black man. They just say neighbor. That is to tell you the difference, how they report. I decided to read this so you can understand how the mainstream media operate. When a situation is like this, they cannot be transparent to look deep into what is going on. They will always twist their word. At the beginning, you saw me reading out that article. They say a neighbor shot a 6-year-old. But the incident that happened last week, they made it clear a white man shot a black teenager. This should not be happening. We should not take grievances into situations like this. These are serious cases where care needs to be taken.
Communities and families across America, yet again, have been devastated by tragic acts of gun violence. And it is not just devastating for me. I'm sure it's devastating for all of you and your families. It's devastating for this president. It's devastating for our administration. And to have to continue to do that over and over again. So let me just lay out, sadly, what we have seen these last couple of days. 4 young people killed at a Sweet 16 party in Dadeville, Alabama, 2 killed and 4 others injured on Saturday night in a crowded public park in Louisville. A bright, young, loving 16-year-old kid, Ralph Yarl, shot in the head in Missouri after ringing the wrong doorbell. And we just learned a few hours ago, about 12 hours ago, about a young woman, 20-year-old woman in upstate New York, who was killed for turning down the wrong driveway. And these are just some of the tragedies that actually have made the headlines.